A single sentence was enough to shock the entire BTS fan community around the world. "It wasn't our decision." A simple sentence, yet it holds a fracture far deeper than mere promotional strategy or managerial decision. If Bang Si-Hyuk, the central figure behind BTS's birth and success, has washed his hands, then who exactly is responsible for the separation of Jungkook and Taehyung, who for years have been the symbol of harmony, strength, and emotional depth within the group? That question not only splits public opinion, but also opens a Pandora's box of speculation that had long been buried by the perfect image built by hybe. Is this purely an industry strategy? Or is there an external force that has long been working silently behind the scenes? More disturbing, if this truly isn't an internal decision, then what kind of power could intervene in a management structure as massive as hybe? When Jungkook and Taehyung started to rarely be seen in the same moment, fans initially remained optimistic. They thought it was just part of individual activity rotations, which is common for big-name artists. However, over time, Taehyung's absence from various projects involving Jungkook began to feel more systematic, even deliberate. There are no coincidences in an industry this big. Every absence, every cut in screen time, every promotional location choice, all must have gone through lengthy evaluations. So Taehyung's absence from Jungkook's promotion orbit simultaneously is not just a sudden decision. Yet, when looked into more deeply, strange signals began to appear. Jungkook was often seen withholding comments when discussing other members, especially Taehyung. Some clips showed nervous gestures, even blank stares, when his closest friend's name was mentioned. On the other hand, Taehyung also showed signs of psychological pressure. In several live broadcasts, he avoided questions about Jungkook and chose to respond with neutral statements that seemed prearranged. If their relationship is fine, why are there so many subtle censors that seem like forms of narrative control? And if they're truly guarding their privacy, why are only the two of them seen in this controlled situation, while other members are still freely interacting with each other in public spaces? Bang Si-Hyuk's statement, which asserted that the separation wasn't an internal decision, only raised more suspicions. In South Korea's entertainment industry, control over an idol's career direction usually comes from the agency. So if this separation didn't come from hybe, two extreme possibilities arise: foreign financial power or a hidden agenda from a larger strategic partner. Is there a force from outside South Korea trying to shift BTS's narrative direction for global brand interests? Or is there a far more complex internal conflict involving investors, sponsors, even political powers that can't be openly named? Could it be that hybe is no longer truly free, forced to follow a certain current for the sake of its business survival? These questions can't be answered with mere managerial rhetoric. They require transparency, which has long been obscured in the name of strategy. Openness is the rarest thing in a world fully controlled by image, algorithms, and fan loyalty monetization. And most heartbreaking, the impact is most felt by ARMY. They are the ones who have, from the beginning, upheld the brotherhood among BTS members as the emotional foundation of the group's success. They don't just buy albums or attend concerts. They build narratives that reinforce BTS's identity as a group born from love, struggle, and deep bonds. So when the two central figures of that bond, Jungkook and Taehyung, suddenly seem forcibly separated, feelings of betrayal become inevitable. Criticism is beginning to surface from all directions. Why doesn't hybe provide space for their natural interaction? Why does Jungkook seem to be constantly placed in an individualistic narrative, while Taehyung is left in a shadow of solo activities that appear irrelevant to the group's main promotional flow? Why have projects involving them as a duo or collaborators suddenly disappeared from the creative table? Is this just a strategy to create interaction scarcity, so fan enthusiasm remains high when a reunion moment arrives? Or is this actually a permanent scenario, where the two are truly being separated for reasons that cannot be revealed to the public? The fact that online communities like TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube have become the main sources of speculation shows just how little official information is accessible. And therein lies the real danger. When information gaps are left open too long, they get filled with assumptions. When narratives are driven by speculation, the truth becomes blurred. So we ask, Is this Taekook separation real? Or is it just a media fabrication to spark curiosity and keep the industry running amid uncertainty? If there truly is a greater force behind all this, who are they? What is their motivation? Is it purely a matter of branding direction? Or is this part of an effort to control major figures like Jungkook and Taehyung so they don't stray from a certain party's predetermined path? And if they truly have no power over this decision, then where exactly does Bang Si-Hyuk stand in the true hierarchy of power? Readers, in situations like this, your sharpness is the last defense against manipulation. Do you truly believe this is just ordinary dynamics within the entertainment industry? Do you think all this is natural? Or do you smell an intervention too strong to ignore? Do you still believe HYB is in full control? Or are they now merely a tool of a greater force? We don't provide answers. We only present piece by piece of clues, fragments of reality that may not be whole, but sharp enough to slice through doubt. We don't force interpretation, but we invite you to analyze. Now is the time to ask harder questions, think deeper, and not accept every narrative just because it comes from an official screen. Because if Bang Si-Hyuk himself admitted he didn't decide on this separation, then the world has every right to ask, who truly controls the future direction of BTS? A statement that sounds simple but carries unease in silence. Not our decision has sparked widespread speculation among the public, especially BTS fans. Who does we refer to? And more importantly, who holds the power to reshape the relationship between the group's two closest figures, Jungkook and Taehyung? It's not an exaggeration for the public to feel that an invisible force is moving behind the scenes. In the context of South Korea's entertainment industry, known for its control, structure, and corporate interest, very few major decisions arise without strategic intervention. So, when two BTS members who for years have shown emotional, personal, even professional closeness suddenly seem to be systematically distanced, the main question is no longer what happened, but who ordered it. The facts that have surfaced cannot be ignored. The lack of interaction between Taehyung and Jungkook in recent promotional schedules, their visual removal from joint narratives, and the silence that cloaks HYB's official social media are patterns too consistent to be called coincidence. At the same time, Jin is being prominently featured in the company's spotlight, becoming the main face, symbol of return, and a nationalistic narrative structured neatly post-military. HYB constructing a new, deliberate narrative, making Jin a patriotic icon while freezing the two figures who have long been the foundation of global army loyalty? And if so, was that decision really made by HYB's executives? Or was it born of greater, stronger, and more organized external pressure? Bang Si-Hyuk's statement, which has circulated through various video clips and social media, implies that his side lacks full control over the situation. If true, who can override HYB's internal decisions? Are we talking political pressure? Or perhaps an international business agenda aiming to reformat BTS's image for specific market interests? Sources from social media like TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube provide various evidence, analysis, even theories that may not be valid, but cannot be ignored. Clips of Taehyung being kept off stage, videos of Jungkook saying, "It wasn't his decision," and the lack of Taekook moments during big celebrations all come together into a huge puzzle that seems deliberately formed to provoke public opinion. Is this all part of a grand scenario? Is Taekook's separation part of a long-term plan to shift the fandom's direction? Or is it a narrative control move to erase something deemed misaligned with corporate strategy? Equally suspicious is how every piece of information that tries to reconnect the Taekook image seems suppressed or removed from public space. Many fans report missing content, restricted hashtags, even trending redirection that appears too focused on personal relationship speculation. Is this just the algorithm? Or are there stronger forces manipulating the image? This is no trivial matter. Global ARMY reactions prove that this separation is not just a fandom issue, but seen as injustice toward two figures who have emotionally brought BTS to life. When Jin's narrative is widely promoted, with full support, national exposure, and patriotic glorification, while Jungkook and Taehyung are separated in silence, doesn't this indicate a systematic selection agenda? If Bang Si-Hyuk truly lacks full control, who has it? Is there a higher board? Are investors pressuring the narrative? Or is it possible that government parties, with cultural representation interests, are also involved in controlling BTS's visual direction? We face a tension between fact and fiction, between truth and a constructed narrative. Amid this confusion, the public must ask, is what they're seeing reality, or a staged drama meant to divert attention from something bigger? Skepticism is now necessary. We can't just accept every piece of information without strict filtering. Could all this be part of a global marketing strategy to split the fanbase's core? Is Taekook seen as too strong, too influential, that their existence becomes a threat to corporate control? We must also consider the possibility that this separation isn't just individual, but directly tied to BTS's post-military repositioning. Is Jin's narrative as Korea's representative more politically profitable? And if so, does that mean the Taekook narrative must be buried to maintain market stability and cultural diplomacy? These questions cannot be definitively answered. But that's exactly why critical reflection is crucial. Every video, every piece of news, every clip must be sharply analyzed. Don't just accept, but question. Don't just listen, but dive into its meaning. Because behind every silence, there may be pressure. Behind every smile, there may be wounds. And behind the statement, not our decision, there may be a greater truth long intentionally hidden. I ask the public ready to accept that BTS is no longer fully managed by its founders, but by a system bigger, more complex, and more dangerous than imagined? Or will we continue to let narratives be steered by unseen hands, swallowing everything served without question? The truth may never be revealed directly, but we hold the power to ask, to not stay silent, to not just be spectators. Because if Taekook was truly separated not by personal choice, but due to the intervention of a greater force, then we are witnessing a drama of control, not just over two individuals, but over the entire fandom ecosystem. And now, we return to you, the readers. Do you truly believe this is all coincidence? Or do you see patterns, scenarios, and manipulations that can no longer be denied? Please reflect. Consider all angles. And most importantly, don't stop asking questions.